So there was a change of plan. I just met a lovely lady and she convinced me to do the whole tour. So I make a little drop by Lac Thor. So off we go. We're gonna do the loop. Starting to hear human sounds. So I guess we're getting closer to Thor Lake. I like its name, Thor Lake, Thor's Lake. All right. There's a little. Yep. There you go, Lac Thor. Let's discover that one together. Oh my god. All right. All right. Oh my god. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
This is really, really, really beautiful. Look at that mountain.
Right?
Ça va?
Ça va bien?
Life's good. Well, that was totally worth it. I always find it amazing to find lakes on top of mountains. I grew up by the Mediterranean Sea. So to me there were mountains, there were rivers, and there was the sea. But to have big reservoirs of water or lakes on top of mounts or massifs or ridges, it fascinates me. I mean, it's a novelty I did not grow up with. Anyway, so for now, let's head back home. I'm 5.5 kilometers in, so, which basically means I'm halfway through. I'm gonna try to walk briskly, so I make it as fast as possible before hitting the road for a couple of hours to our next destination. We'll touch base later on. That was a nice corridor. Felt like a tunnel. So firstly, the hat is on, because in this part of the mountain there are lots of humid ponds and humid soil, which in turn is a massive breeding ground for everything, flies and mosquitoes. And since I do not have hair, by design, and partly by nature also, my head offers a massive feasting ground for these, for these insects to feast. So I'm nearing my 8th kilometer, technically 2.5 kilometers left. It's one beautiful trail. And as for all my videos, I wish I'll always put links in the description. I always forget to mention it. I mean, I'm new to this vlogging thing, okay? So I'll do my best to put all the necessary links in the description for the CPAC, which is the administrative body for the Quebec parks. So you know where to look for information, where to get your passes, your tickets, and anything I find relevant. Now, if you watch these videos and you have questions, whether for gear, for equipment, for addresses, and for maps, I don't know, comment, write me in the comments so I know if you need additional information, so I provide you with that. I'm not affiliated to anyone, I'm not paid by anyone. My channel is a rookie channel. I do it for the pleasure and not making any money out of it, and no ads, and I'm not sponsored, so I will gladly provide you with any information. And as I gain experience along the way, the quality of my content will become more and more precise and accurate and valuable. At least I hope so. So should you have any request, any question, make sure to write it in the comment below. I'd love to help you, and you will help me greatly. These are the humid... This is the humid soil I was talking about, which is a breeding ground for insects. Now, that's a bonanza for the ecosystem. Actually, one of the most preserved things in the ecosystems and in the environment are these humid systems, these humid soils, because they're a breeding ground for a lot of different species that are part of the ecosystem chain. And there are lots of active preservation efforts to preserve them and to help nature rebuild and flourish. So that's it concerning these humid soils. Remember that loop? We did all that. We're back here now, heading to the service area. So here I am by the end of my hike. It's a total of 11.37 kilometers, which I did in 2.5 hours. It was a sustained pace. Now, some facts concerning this trail. If you go to the website and if you download the brochure, it states it as an intermediate level with 3.5 hours average time for completion. So, if you're a fit person, it's a fairly easy intermediate. So, it's mostly easy, with the ascension to the summit and the descent that are the toughest parts. This is why I was able to do it in 2.5 hours. If you're fairly fit, 3 hours, 3.5 hours will be good, and you could consider it a fairly intermediate level hike. And if you're not used to it, well, better prepare yourself properly, because, as I said, the ascension and the descent from the summit are the toughest parts. So that's it for the trail. As I said, I was lucky enough that rain did not affect the area here. So as for the gear, what I suggest are pants. I would advise against shorts because there are lots of humid spaces which bring about lots of insects. Pants, use lots of bug repellent. So I did quite well with a t-shirt, save for a little stretch where I had to put my hat on. Now, in different conditions, let's say if it's a bit more wet, then definitely you will need to cover more space. You can even buy face nets if need be. So it will all depend on the day you're hiking, on the season you're hiking, and on the trail conditions. It has the tendency to be muddy, and there are zones there that could receive lots of inundation. I don't know if it's the right word. I'm translating from French. I'm tired at the end of the trail. Anyway. Now, just like with any park, there are always easy trails that are family-friendly trails, and there are intermediate or harder trails that are usually better for fit people or hiking aficionados. So always consult the maps. I will put a link in the description for every park I visit. This way you could go and make up your mind and maybe plan a trip if you intend to visit, or simply if you live around and you never experienced these places, well, you will know how to get equipped. I did well with 1 liter of water today, but I had the ideal temperature. Remember when I said it was chill initially? Well, 12 degrees right now. Oh, let me stop my watch. So 12 degrees is an ideal temperature to hike. You won't feel as hot, so you won't sweat a lot. I did sweat a bit, but I did well with 1 liter of water, and I had my mug of coffee. Concerning wildlife here, I've seen a ridiculous amount of chipmunks, but by the time I try to catch them on camera, they vanish. I did encounter one, how's it called? Un chevreuil in French, Bambi, basically. But it just crossed my path very, very, very quickly. Fairly 15,000 steps today, which is good. And right now temperatures rose to 17 degrees. We're getting back to better August temperatures. Should you need any information, please drop a comment below. Ask me your questions. And as for now, it's been 4 days. I've been away from the city and from the city vibes. I've been in the countryside, in the small town of Lac Mégantic, which is fairly remote. I did 2 massive nature hikes. I visited also the mining town of Thetford Mines. And now I'm concluding my getting away with a little hike through Frontenac. But I am a suburban man. I'm an urban and a suburban man. So I think 4 days out in the countryside with very limited options, very limited hustle and bustle and nightlife, very limited cell phone signal is quite the right dose. And I did a fair amount of physical exercise, which is amazing. I've been totaling around 25,000 steps a day. Right now, it's time for me to head back to some city vibes. I have a 2 hours drive, roughly, to my next destination, where I'm gonna reconnect with the hustle and bustle and the night lights and the evening aliveness of the places. Stay tuned for the next video so you discover what I'm gonna show you in my next destination, which is gonna be Quebec City, which is the capital of the province of Quebec in Canada. I'm gonna try to walk you through its most historical landmarks. And as for now, I really thank you for watching. I wish you a good time, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Take care, be good.